What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fantasy Gurus
Capital Z.
with a capital Z. Please remember to subscribe to us on YouTube. Check us out on all the different networks, and please support. We are joined here by Melvin, Michael, and myself, Warren G. And today we're going to go talk about all the elite quarterbacks that you need to draft in this year's Fantasy Football League. We're going to start off with Tier 1. So, Michael, why don't you start us off with Tier 1 and talk about the top 3 quarterbacks that everyone wants to draft?
These 3 are the big dogs of the league, okay? You set it, forget it, and you're just happy. They just make you smile.
Sure do.
You just look at your roster and you're just like, damn, that's me.
I won.
And it's Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, and Patrick fucking Mahomes, okay? They're all going extremely high, but if you get them, you just feel good. They're all going to be 20-plus players every single week, night in, night out, and you can't miss on those 30.
Now, here's my thing. Those guys are going in late second
Yes.
to the third round.
Yeah.
Are you taking them that high, or are you waiting for that next tier of quarterbacks?
Now, if you have me personally, I would wait because I don't like using that
Building
high
your
draft.
team like that.
Building my team like that. But I have no problem. Like if it's early, if you're early third and like they fall, I'm not that mad at it.
Absolutely not.
But like, cause me personally, I'll wait and get another guy later who will put up like maybe a few points less. But these guys are rock stars.
I think unless your league's giving you some sort of bonus, it's just never advantageous to get a QB that early. Because then your rest of your team is not going to be as
It's not
strong.
going to be as strong, correct?
Yeah, whenever you go quarterback or tight end early, typically, especially in a 12-team league, some of the other positions like
gonna be pretty
running
weak.
back, wide receiver, they're weak. So you're going to have
Yeah.
to find a later round pick in order to fill those spots.
Exactly.
So with those 3 guys in mind, they're easy. Everyone knows about them, but we're going to have to get in like the other quarterbacks that we could draft. So the next tier of quarterbacks, Melvin, do you want to go over them?
This is the tier you want to be in, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
This is
it.
the tier that I'm
What type
drafting
of
every
dogs
time.
you consider these?
They're like mild-mannered dogs, ready to. They want to join the big leagues, but they just not there yet. They got a little bit more to prove. You know what I'm saying?
Word. So we're gonna go obviously Joe Burrow. He's knocking.
He's knocking at that
knocking
door.
at that
He's
door.
right there.
Almost
He's almost
close.
there.
He's close. If he ran, it'd be easy.
Is
He'd be a big
he
dog.
playing week 1? Do we know?
I think
We
so.
don't know.
I think so. He's got that dog in him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I
He
think
has it in X-rays confirmed. He's
Yes.
got the dog.
Yes.
Then obviously it's got to be Lamar Jackson.
Correct.
He started this whole wave of drafting QBs early. He put the potential of the QB position
He's
back
just
on
in
the
this
map.
tier because he gets hurt. You know, and
Yeah.
you don't want to be stuck with a
Correct.
quarterback that's hurt.
But
So
how
that's
do
why.
you don't? I just feel like this year, just the stars align for him. Todd Monken,
Yeah.
he's got a million weapons finally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Zay Flowers
They're gonna be
recently
throwing
added.
it now, spread
if you
offense.
play cover
Beckham.
2 against Lamar Jackson,
He's
he's
gonna run
running
it all day.
over you.
So
So
we'll
what
see.
are you gonna do?
We'll see.
I mean, this could be the most talent that Lamar Jackson has played with so far.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So if he stays healthy and plays through the whole entire year, I mean, there's no reason why he can't be a top 5
Exactly.
QB that you could get in the 4th round. That's probably where he's going, right? 4th round?
Third, fourth, yeah, something like that. Yeah. So
Because it depends on your league.
yeah.
And then the last person I would put in this tier, I mean, me personally, I think I'm avoiding him. Just me personally.
Oh.
But you have to put him in there just with the rushing upside. I know both you guys are going to
Wait,
like
we only have 3 in this tier. I got 2
Oh, what
more.
about Justin Herbert?
I got
No,
Herbie.
I was
and-
going to put them in the tier below.
Oh,
Ooh.
you're tweaked.
Uh,
You're tweaked.
Just
Me
because
and Michael both have
Yeah.
Herbert on the record. On the
On the
record,
record.
we both have Herbert in that same tier.
And I got Trevor Lawrence in
Okay,
that
I
tier
can
as well.
Okay, see, this is the
Even
difference.
field test, he off of
Would
what he
you?
did last
This
year
is my
has to be. I
difference
wouldn't
in
take him.
tiers. I would never, ever, ever take Justin Herbert or Trevor Lawrence over Joe Burrow. Would you guys do that?
No, we never said that.
We didn't
But that's
say
what
that, but
that's
they're
where
all
I
the
go by
same.
tier
Okay.
because he's a tier above.
But
Would you ever take
so
Joe
now
Burrow?
you're saying Justin Fields potentially over Joe Burrow? Because you
No.
said you had one more person.
No, but
Yeah,
I could
that's
see.
what he
I
said.
could
That's what he
understand
said.
why someone would do that, though. I personally am fading Justin Fields in every league, but
I don't know
I
about
can.
every league. Superflex is different.
I can understand why someone would do that, though. Is my thing. So I'll sneak Justin Fields in. He's not my flavor of tea, but I'll throw him in there. If you want to add these guys in that tier, it's I'm not gonna argue with you. But me personally, I think Tiers is a guy I would never take over the other one. So we're gonna add in Justin. So you guys want
Herbert
to
and Trevor Lawrence.
Herbert and Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Those are the guys I'm fading Fields for in favor of Herbert and Lawrence because he goes higher. You get those guys that I think can easily jump into the big dog category. You know, that's me personally.
I would say right now that Justin Herbert is my most drafted QB.
Yeah.
Every mock draft,
It's so easy to
because
draft.
he has potential to be a big dog, and you're getting him at a discount.
Yeah.
So why
Little
would
dog
you?
prices.
Little dog
Yeah, how
prices,
early were
big
people
dog
drafting
results.
him last year?
Yeah, he was going
He's
in the
going
top
as
three.
QB2
I know.
last
QB2 or
year.
three.
QB2
QB2.
last
Yeah,
year.
no.
Yeah, he had some ribs, you know what I'm saying, that were knocked up a little bit. You know
He
what I'm
Didn't
saying?
have healthy wide receivers.
Yeah,
Watkins,
no weapons.
Johnson, Kellen Moore.
He
Yeah.
gets a
coordinator.
boosted OC, boosted weapons, boosted O-line. There's
Yeah.
nothing not to like.
So
Trevor Lawrence, the same thing. The OC's already been good. Doug Peterson's calling the plays. You add in Calvin Ridley. You add in Tank Bigsby to that running back core. I mean, they got the sky's the limit for all of those guys.
Yeah.
Those are my guys that I want. Now, Michael Moore, would you
No.
add Watson into this tier?
no, I would not.
No.
He still has to
Look,
prove it.
Yeah.
At that point, let's talk about the next tier. You
The
already
next
mentioned
tier.
Trevor
We'll let
Lawrence.
Warren take this down. Yep.
All right, so you have Trevor Lawrence in that tier,
Yep.
who I like right after the guys that we just mentioned. He has everything that you need to break out, like this upcoming year, and
Yeah.
I love the addition of Calvin Ridley.
I love that.
I also would put in this tier now, Deshaun Watson. And here's the thing: would I ever draft Deshaun Watson over Trevor Lawrence? No, and it's because I feel like it's too risky. Like
Yeah,
after what we saw
yeah.
last year,
He was.
it's a gamble. Now he's always been a top 5 quarterback his whole career. He's still young. What is he? 28 years old.
He's young.
He's
I
young.
Like that.
So
In his prime, he was like when he was coming up, he came in the same class as Mahomes, and they were neck and neck. So we'll see if he could go back to that old Watson form. You're getting a steal.
and there's no reason why he can't. So that's why people haven't ranked like this high.
Yep.
But obviously you're nervous after last year's performance. But he has some weapons too.
Yep.
Amari Cooper.
Gained weapons.
Yes.
Gained offensive
Yep.
line. They are building the offense around him.
Yep.
I mean, he's one of those guys you don't take, and then you just knew he was gonna blow up the entire year. You're like, fuck, but I'm just not gonna take this guy, and I'm fine living with that if I get one of those guys above him.
Now, if you take Deshaun Watson, are you definitely going to take a second QB? At that point?
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
You can't take an unproven guy without a proven guy behind him. You just can't do it.
And I'll tell you this much too. There's a lot of safe plays at quarterback. So if you get desperate at the end, you drafted all other positions. You know, you could draft a Cousins, you could draft a Geno Smith, you could draft a Goff if you get desperate. Like they could fill in the week.
Correct.
A Deshaun Watson could win you your league.
Could.
He's not safe, but safe doesn't win you championships
That's
either.
a fact.
So I think if you miss out on one of those top 8 QBs,
Gotta get Kirk.
you shoot. You know, you're not rushing to take Watson, but if you can, you get him at a value where you think the rest of your team, you take him, and then you just shoot for one of these other guys, back him up.
And let me tell
That's
you guys
a fine
something.
strategy to me too.
When I get cold at night, I get a warm blanket and I get some milk and cookies. You know who that is in fantasy football? That is Kirk Cousins. Stop disrespecting this man. He's a top 10 QB almost every year. Every year.
That's true.
He looks like a dork, but he plays like a superhero.
Yeah.
Okay? He might be Clark Kent. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. He
I
just
don't
might
know.
be.
He's
So-
a guy you just plug in there and you just feel okay. You
Yeah,
know it's
You
going to be
know
fine.
what he's
Yes.
going to do.
And if that's your QB, that means all the other positions are
All right,
stacked.
Yeah.
stacked. So I can live with that every single day of the week. And baby cousin Kirk Cousins has won me a few leagues. Let me tell you
Word,
that.
word.
Indeed.
All right, so now that we're talking about the next tier, Michael, do you want to break down a few of those guys? So obviously you have Kirk Cousins in that same tier.
So,
I'm guessing Tua as well. Are you putting Dak in there?
So in my tier 3, I had Watson and Tua. I also had Kirk in that as well.
Okay,
But
so those
right
are-
below this man, I hate his guts. I'll never draft him ever again. Throw eggs at his house when I see it. It's Dak Prescott. He has violated me for the last time, goddammit. Last year I take him, destroyed me in Superflex. Second round. The year when he finally has his breakout year, he's going crazy bananas first
40
few weeks.
points, 30
40
points.
And then he gets hurt. I'm through with this man, okay? Don't draft him in any leagues. I'm telling you right now, do not draft him.
Well, I don't think he's gonna necessarily win you a league, but
He will lose it.
he.
Okay. So next, let's just not.
All right, let's
just
not
get-
that
So
one.
should we get
Not a
into
terrible pick, but
He's
continue.
a horrible pick.
Okay.
Okay, next guys who I feel good about, Tua. He's got weapons for days. Mike McDaniel's incredible offense. You just love what you see there. You got my boy, Big Blue baby, Daniel Jones. I mean, he's okay. Like he's just like the
Yeah,
redheaded
that's why I'm not
stepchild that you.
drafting.
He's the redheaded stepchild that you get. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not in love. Like, oh, but I got a kid now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so it's a word. Then Aaron Rodgers. He would be higher for me, but the Jets O-line is in shambles. Absolute shambles.
Also, listen here. I'm a Jets fan. We are going to be run first. Our defense will do the talking. Aaron Rodgers is going to slowly build up. He's going to start off slow unless it's like the KC
Let me tell you,
or shootout.
Aaron Rodgers knew the offense of line was going to be trash. He took a pay cut so they could get his old boy, David Bakhtiari. Allegedly, it's not happening. Sorry to Melvin. Sorry to this man. He not going to have blocking. He was
I'm
sacked
not worried.
OD. So moving on to the last couple. I got Geno Smith. He had one great year. He hasn't done it again, so we still got to see. The jury's out, but he's got a lot of weapons. Anthony Richardson could be the breakout of this tier.
He
With
was
the
my
rushing
breakout
upside,
choice.
he's a freak alien athlete.
Yeah, there's
And
one of those.
he's-
He's just one of those guys that just breaks the slate. He's like
Yeah.
LeBron James, Cam Newton.
Whoa,
I'm not
LeBron.
putting him in the same. I'm not putting him in the same category as a player, but I'm saying body type.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry. He's just one of those guys that breaks the mold. He's 6'4", 6'5", 250. He's bigger than Micah Parsons, who's a linebacker.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It doesn't. He's just gonna run all over the league. He's like Josh Allen when Josh Allen came out. Like everyone had a lot of concerns with his completion percentage, but it didn't matter because when you're this much more athletic than anyone else in the field, it speaks for itself. So
Exactly.
he is my breakout candidate of the year.
Now, talking about Anthony Richardson, if he runs for 700 plus yards, there's no way he's a top 10. He has to be.
He has to be a top 10.
He has to be, and that's definitely in the realm of
And
possibility.
let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Jalen Hurts broke out with this same man, Shane Steichen. He is now his head coach.
Correct.
And they're going to tailor make the offense for him.
What
Run
does Shane
pass
Steichen
options.
do for Jalen Hurts in the red zone, Michael? What play did they try to ban from the NFL? It's
That
still
little
that
cheap quarterback.
push.
Yeah.
And
Whoa,
that's
whoa.
pause. I mean,
Pause on
that's what it's called. The tush push.
crazy.
They get to the 1 yard line. Everyone gets behind him and just push him into the end zone.
Now, if you guys don't get one of these top 16 quarterbacks, I suggest you panic because most leagues are only 12. So if you don't get anybody else, you're kind of cooked, okay? I wouldn't try to target anybody else passes. We could go into them. I don't know if you guys want to. I mean, it's kind of pointless in a 12-team league.
Yeah, these are all dart throws. I think
Yeah.
the only person that we didn't mention is I think Jared Goff.
Jared
you could
Goff,
stream
yeah, you
and
could
easily
stream, yeah.
plug him in. He's
Yeah.
gonna have a lot of good weeks, and
Yeah.
I think he's just a safe play for a good matchup.
For a safe play.
Yeah, I think if you're in a 10-team league, you really need to prioritize getting a QB. You should
Yeah.
be aiming for one of the top 8. at
10-team
minimum.
is fine to go for one of those top 3 because
Yes.
in 10-team,
Your team's still going to be good
still going to be
regardless.
good regardless.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you want to get
I would also
advantage
get
at
a
certain
top,
positions.
tight end in
yeah,
10-team
exactly.
league.
Like you could even go Kelsey Mahomes or Kelsey
Yeah.
whatever to start, and you're still going to end up fine.
Mhm.
Now the last 2 tiers that we mentioned, is there any we already said Watson has a top 5 potential. I want to throw this out there. I think Tua has the potential to be
He's
a
my-
top 5
he's
guy.
my
Yes.
sleeper. Yep.
Because
That's my sleeper.
so that's another guy. He's obviously risky. I feel like he after last year with the
Could be
concussions,
possibly be made of glass. I don't know. I don't make the rules here. He just might
When he
be.
plays, he plays well. He doesn't. He's like one of those QBs. He doesn't even need to do that well to do well. He just dumps it off for
And
5 yards. and
Hill,
they take
Waddle
it to
just
the
are
house.
gone. They're gone.
Yeah,
So
having those 2 wide
Two is
receivers, anything is
insane.
possible.
Chosen
It's insane.
Anderson, even like Devon A-Chain, they're all game breaking speed.
Yeah.
Like
yep. And there's no one else I would really take past that. I mean, you could take a dart fly on Kyler Murray, hoping he comes back at the end of the season. That's really it.
Even
And
if he's someone you throw on the bench and then you stream him towards the end of the year, who
Yeah.
knows his health at this point.
But I would not touch any of these guys after that.
so, moral of the story: if you're in a 10 or 12 team league, you absolutely cannot leave the draft with anyone below the top 8.
12 team, you want to prioritize the tier 2 guys you listed. That's the Lamar Jacksons, the Burrows, the Fields, the Herberts, the Lawrences of the world. It's the value. Drafting is not about who you pick, it's where you pick. And the value is what you have to go for.
And I would say in previous years, I was a big fan of like drafting a QB like super late, stacking up every other position and doing that. This year, I feel like in most of my drafts, I'm drafting someone late 4th or in the 5th round, latest 6th.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting like a Trevor Lawrence in the 6th, or I'm getting a Justin Herbert in the 5th. So that's my strategy. That's what I've been doing, and it seems to be like the team is like working out really well when I do that.
It works out beautiful. It works out beautiful.
Your first 4 picks, you want to get a position guy. They just fill out the meat of your lineup, and the QB is the cherry on top that you have. Actually, the QB is the cone. It holds everything together. If you don't have that, everything's going to shit, because then your points are never going to add up.
And I would say if you don't have one of the top 8, 9 quarterbacks, actually really top 7, top 8, then you need to get 2 and then just stream. Like Daniel Jones has some monster games when he has a good matchup. So that's a good streaming guy that you could pair with
you don't want to
Kirk Cousins,
prioritize
Geno
getting
Smith.
him, though. You don't.
Yeah, this is plan B.
Yeah.
So, too bad we're not sponsored by them.
Yeah. But today's sponsor, High Noon. Great fucking drink, guys, ladies and gentlemen. This is the lime flavor I'm drinking.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll get sponsored by them.
I'm dreaming, kid. Why can't I? You know what I'm saying?
Boy could dream.
Yeah, that's all.
Anyways, that wraps up QBs for today. And then in the next episode, we're going to get into running back, which is very important. There's a lot of, there's so many running backs to talk about. So many people splitting carries in a backfield, and you just don't know who's going to start in some teams. But we'll get into that in the next episode, and we'll see you guys next time.